welcome back to my channel. Today I'm taking you guys with me to travel from home to my res. First I bought food before anything, and then I went back and went to the transport and then waited until the transport was full. Then we left Polokwane. A few minutes later we passed our first toll gate, which is the Nile Plaza. It was starting to get real. Leaving home is never easy. I always miss my parents, my siblings, even though I've been making this trip for a few years now. Traveling back to Res still stressed me out. Because of that, I spent most of my journey sleeping. The person sitting next to me was so friendly and welcoming. We didn't talk much because we were both sleeping most of the time. They were actually kind. I even forgot to ask their name before we got off, even though they said goodbye. People always say you shouldn't sit in the front if you're planning to sleep, but the way both of us were sleeping, you think it was the middle of the night. But other than that, we continued with our journey. One thing about our driver, he was energetic. He was not even sleeping until we reached Kranskop, and then that's when we went to buy our food and stuff. I didn't buy food because I had food from home, because my sister bought for me when I was leaving Polokwane, and then others went to buy. Even the person that I was sitting next to went to buy, and then I was eating my food because I was still in the car. I was energetic for vlogging this day, and I decided to go to the toilet after. I was like, I'm not going, but I was like, no, this trip is really long for me to not go to the toilet, guys. And when I came back, I was going to the taxi, and then I realized that I was lost because the taxi moved from where it was. And then we continued with our journey until we reached another toll gate. I didn't catch the name of the toll gate, but I love to catch their names, but I didn't this one. I guess I was sleepy. And then because I told you guys that I was up all night stressing. Guys, long trips are very stressing. I don't want to lie, especially with the taxi. But then we passed Pumlani Plaza. I think for me it was the last toll gate. Then we are Pagati inside. We are into PTA. We passed Main Lane. It was really nice for me to capture all these moments, like with this today. And then we passed Mall of Africa, guys. The story of Mall of Africa, guys. My friend loves Mall of Africa, like with all his heart. Like every time he comes to this province, he always tells me, Mata, today I'm gonna pass at Mall of Africa. He loves Mall of Africa. When I saw it, I was like, you know what, I'm capturing this for my friend. So it was just for aesthetics. And then we arrived in Jozi. The place. Obviously my vlog won't be like really making you see the whole of this place, because my son, I imagine me taking out my phone. And then I was at campus. That guys, these bags, they were so heavy on me. Like I didn't realize all these bags were heavy until I had to walk with them, because the rank is not too far from where I stay. So and then finally I was at Res, and then I missed my room. I didn't realize that when I was at home, but when I got in, I was like, holy, I missed my room. Thank you. Bye.